everyone, this is Professor Orlando de la Cruz and I'm here at Salcedo Auctions. They have an upcoming auctions and I want to show you some of my favorites in this particular auctions. Now behind me are two beds and these are called the Atay bed. So if you can come closer here, is what they call, the experts call the kalabasa. So this is usually expensive really. This Atay bed starts only at 700 and there's another one. That's a good use for Atay collectors. So this one is also worth 700. That's the beginning price. Meaning, if you're the only bidder and you bid 700, then this will be yours. So for collectors of Atay beds, there are two pieces available right now here at Salcedo. I understand it was told. I was told by one of the staff members that this actually came from the Visayas, and most likely these two pieces came from haciendas. Okay, so let's walk right here. I want to show you one very interesting piece. It's an Aparador, and what's interesting here is that there is a Rizal figure up there, so it makes it even more special. Understand that the owner of this was a fan, promoter even of making Rizal really a national hero during his time, and therefore because of his admiration to our national hero, he even made sure that this particular Aparador would have the figure of Jose Rizal. Okay, before we go to the art pieces per se, let's go to some interesting books that I really like. One interesting book here that I like is this one. This one. It's Art of Malang as a Filipino. I looked at the pages, and I would say that if one has this, then most likely one would have a pretty good idea really of who Malang Santos is. It has a very good collection of photographs of his works, so I think this is worth buying. The price of this is something like 8,000. Let me check. Yeah, the beginning price is 8,000. But another favorite of mine is this one. Okay? This is Discovering Philippine Art in Spain, and I must tell you, this is quite rare. Very few pieces really had been published by the Department of Foreign Affairs, if I'm not mistaken. That's the publisher, and therefore not too many pieces are available really in the market. So it was published in 1998. So this particular book tells you a lot about art in Spain, but more than that, it has a lot of information. It also has a lot of pictures, and it will actually tell us, if we have this, where you can find in Spain these beautiful art pieces that came from the Philippines. You know, if one wants really to know a lot about Philippine art and that person is based in Europe, one of the best places to go really is Spain. Of course, a better alternative also is the Philippines. You get to see a lot more of Philippine art. Okay, at this point, let's go to this particular piece. It's a huge piece and it's so beautiful. Last auction of Salcedo, they sold a huge painting by Westendorp, and so beautiful also. This is equally stunning. So look at that. Westendorp really would usually paint flowers, and this exudes the beauty of what a Westendorp painting really is. So it's so beautiful, it's very colorful. Now, aside from that, this is one of my favorites here. It's by Garibay, and it's titled Crucifixion, and it's one of the biggest Garibays I've seen so far. You know, I've seen a lot of Garibays. They are usually small or medium-sized. If it's big, half of this is already big, based on my experience. But this one is beyond big. It's really huge. And the starting price of this is 3.5 million. Okay? And I would say that there are so many Garibay fans out there, and most likely this could really be sold with that amount. But I forgot, I think, to mention that the beginning price of this Westendorp is 6 million. Now, from Garibay and Westendorp, let's go to another Westendorp. This time, this one is the starting price of this is 7 million, and it's different. It's instead of flowers, it's clouds, and it's also one of the favorites of art collectors. And again, just like the previous one, this is also very big. This is much bigger, and it's very dramatic. There's a contrast of light and darkness here, so it's really very moving. Now from here we go to ang Kiukok. This is really classic ang Kiukok. You can see the geometric figures. It's really very old. The year here is 1981, but from the looks of it, the impasto of the painting, the color of the painting is already quite dark. It really looks so old. So one is really fortunate if one can get this because, you know, it's already 21st century. It's 2023 right now, but this one came from 1981. And you can see the beauty of the geometric figures that he's so keen on painting and conveying emotions with. You can see here. Usually, I would see dogs in his paintings, but this time it's a cat, and I will try to confirm that. Yeah, it's a cat because I can see the whiskers, and it looks like the head of a cat in reverse. So this is very dramatic and really a stunning piece. But from here, let's go to another stunning piece. This time, this is by a national artist, from one national artist to another national artist. This is a product or a work by a master, ELIZALDE Navarro. It's very colorful. It's a combination of primary as well as secondary colors, but you can see here that in the middle, okay, we really made sure that there's a contrast what's happening outside with what's at the center. But not only that, he even painted here with a color black. But overall, it's a stunning piece, and I've seen quite a number of pieces with these circles by ELIZALDE Navarro. Normally, some of my favorites by ELIZALDE Navarro would be those Indonesian dancer-inspired pieces by him. But while this is quite different from those that I really love so much, still I can feel that it's very ELIZALDE Navarro because of the choices of colors. So, wow, whoever will get this is really very lucky because so far this is one of the biggest ELIZALDE Navarros that I have seen so far. Okay, and the starting amount of this is 5 billion pesos. Okay, so let's go to another one. Ronald Ventura is one of the most expensive among the younger artists in the Philippines. He's very famous not only in the Philippines but also abroad. So no wonder, a piece this size would be priced that much. Now let me check the size of this is 51 by 39. I think 59 by 39 would include the frame, because the frame itself really is a work of art. So what you can see here is a figure of a woman. There's a unicorn. I think it's a unicorn. Yeah, it's a horse, but it looks like it's a unicorn. There's a pair of wings, and then there's a hair all over floating, and then you still see here, these colors look like colors of peacocks, the feathers of peacocks. So, and then there's not sure, most likely the camera cannot see, but there are, probably can take a closer look, but there are letters, there are numbers here scattered here. So this is a unique piece. more than its beginning. We can see here the Ventura as a master, really, of when he draws or when he paints faces. Normally, the faces of Ventura would be white like this, and then adorned with a lot of other techniques. Okay, from here, let's go to another one. This time, it's not a painting; it's this one. These are columns from a retablo, and you can see retablo in churches, and the retablo usually have a column. Now, the price of this is 250,000. That's the beginning price to 300,000. That's the estimate. But this is not just one. There are two pieces. There's another one there. And it's not that easy to get columns like this one. These are highly collectibles. They're really works of art. And they're even part really of our heritage because they are part of churches, or a church at least before. And you can see here the mastery of whoever made this during the 18th century. Yes, mind you, this came from the 18th century, meaning 1700 something. And usually churches would, collectors would be able to get these from auctions, or probably bought them from the churches, or bought them from antique shops. Because usually in the past, in the Philippines, there had been so many earthquakes every now and then, in the past and even up to now. And after an earthquake, let's say in Bohol, I've seen some pieces like this coming from Bohol because, a church in Bohol could be struck by an earthquake, and after that, they had to clean it up and probably build a new church, and that could be one of the stories behind retablo, columns of retablos such as this one. It says here that it is from Rizal. Okay, it says it's from Rizal. So aside from earthquake, probably there could be renovation. So there could be 1,001 possible reasons why a church would dispose, or probably church pieces like this could land in hands of collectors. Okay, from here, let's cross over there. This is one of my favorites here. In the last auction of Salcedo, there's really a huge Orlina, and it was sold, and it was sold at a very high price. This one, on the other hand, this one is 6.8 million. That's the beginning price for this one. And it is also stunning. I'm not sure how many pieces are there. I think this is one. Okay, there are two pieces here. This is the first glass, and this is the second glass. So there are two pieces here. I think in the last auction, the piece, the whole work was composed of 3 pieces. This time it's composed of 2. So let's find out what will be the selling price of this one come auction day. This is love. I actually like Norma Belleza. Norma Belleza is one of our established women painters in the country right now, very active, and her pieces are really very sellable. She's also a favorite of so many painters. Back in 2015, one can actually get a Belleza at a very low price. Probably a piece like this would be something like probably 120 to 150,000. But now, this one, the beginning price of this at auction is 1.1 million. Yes, you heard it right. Before it was cheap, very cheap, but as collectors, as the painter gained momentum in the market and a lot more people started appreciating her art, then the prices go up. The prices go up not necessarily because the artist would actually increase the price. Usually, it's the market would sometimes lead the pricing of a particular artist, such that if they got a piece and the piece is not too common, or there's more demand than supply, then the sellers would usually mark up, and the buyers would be willing to pay a higher price for as long as they'll be able to keep 1 or 2 pieces of their favorites. So this is one of my favorites here. It's usually she would paint on the family. And yeah, the title of this is Pamilya. And usually she's very colorful. You can see the father, the son, the mother. But aside from families like this, she has a lot of paintings featuring the mother or the mother and child. Not too many of her paintings will include the father. Of course, there are, but I always see more of the mother or mother and child. And then from here, let's go to another one. And one of our national artists, very respected. This is Mr. Cruz, Arturo Cruz. And he's so famous by focusing on very simple lines. The idea there is that he reduced the essence of what he wanted to convey through the simplest of lines. So here we can see geometric figures again. So they look like wheels, they look like machines perhaps in a factory. And the color is stunning because it's red. And that's the gel background. And of course you have the white, which is the one that's creating movement here. Okay? And then of course, just like in most of these paintings, you make finishing touches like this one. Right? That's rainbow color, and this one is solid black. So this is one of the biggest so far this year that I've seen in the market, coming from the artistry of a great national artist, Arturo. Last one, I want to show you my number one favorite here in this particular auction, and this is by Mr. Kiukok. So we can see here that it's almost, it's actually not black and white, but it's almost monochromatic because there's the dominant black. And then you have here black again everywhere. You can see the white. So it looks like monochromatic, even though it is not, because you can still see here shades of green, blue green, shades of brown. So it's not monochromatic, but it has the effect of being mainly black and white. But what's stunning here is that there is an accompanying dog below. There is a man, and the bear is a man. You can see the muscles. You can see the skeletal features. It's so beautiful, and he's so known for painting the idea of man and very topic man. But this time, first time so far that I've seen that he painted a man together with a dog. And the dog here, as opposed to the man here, is very colorful, and he would really paint the dog like this one. There's a dark red, there's dark blue. So it's generally very Kiukok in terms of the representation of the dog, mainly black, white, red, and blue. So this is very colorful compared to this one. So this one for me is my favorite at this auction. So those are my favorites, and I hope you have your own favorite. I hope you watch the Salcedo Auctions very soon. And I hope you keep on watching our videos, this one as well as our future videos. Please keep on supporting Philippine art and patronizing Filipino artists. We have the talent, we have a very vibrant culture, and we have to strengthen Philippine arts in the country. Bye-bye, and thank you.